Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Play by Play in Off Air and Online. As always, I always bring you the greatest, and we promise that season 2 is going to be bigger and better, and I promise you it is bigger and better. If you see the guests that I have on the show with us this evening, then you'll understand exactly which direction the show is going to be going. Of course, it's going to be all Premier League. It's going to be the big announcement. We're going to unpack the big announcement that happened at a certain club that wear red over the last week. So we're going to unpack that as well. And then we're going to talk about who between the two guests that I have here today. Well, Adrian's not really a guest. Adrian's more of a fixture, but who's going to be wearing which shirt come the end of the season. As always, Adrian Endley, good, evening, big guy?
Very good evening. I don't know why I have such a big smile on my face today. It's just, I'm feeling a bit superior today.
I don't know why you have a big smile on your face either, but let's see. Maybe I think it has to do something with the guest that we have in studio here with us this evening. Tara Lee, good afternoon, Tara. Why are you picking up the mic and why keeping it in your hand?
Tara's trying to play it coy today.
I wanted to be relaxed. I'm looking at Adrian. He has a massive smile on his face. And I know why, because Adrian and I still have a bet going. Whoever ends at above whoever on the Premier League table has to wear the other team's shirt, which means that Adrian's looking at me as though he's going to see me in a Man United shirt. Mm-hmm. But there's still a few games to play. There's still a lot of football.
There's still 8 games to play.
Adrian, let's just quickly get this out of the way.
Yes.
So I bumped into Tara in the hallways of the SABC building over the weekend. Uh-huh. And the first words that kind of come out of Tara's mouth are, "Can you believe I might actually have to wear a Man United shirt on the pod?" And I said to her, is this like you conceding already? And now she comes on here, chest, stomach in, chest out.
Shoulders back, chest out.
How are you feeling?
Look, it's an emotional day because just last night I got the breaking news, that we as Liverpool supporters and the club will have to say goodbye to Mo Salah at the end of the season.
So just in case you guys are wondering, I'm going to interrupt her there very quickly. In case you guys are wondering why we got Tara onto the show, that is exactly why. Because we want to unpack this Mohamed Salah announcement. As you know, Tara sometimes features on the on-air product just at the end of the show, between 8 and 9 every Saturday morning, of course. And she comes in here off-air online to come and give her past comments on how bad Man United are and what's the inner workings of Liverpool. So continue.
So received the news, and my immediate thoughts were, it's not a massive surprise because we saw this coming, but it still feels like a blow. He is definitely one of those legends of the club. He is a player that I think people will talk about it, no matter who you support, people will be talking about him for generations to come. He is a generational talent. And with him at Liverpool, they've collected 9 trophies. That is massive. There's not a lot of players who can boast that, no matter which club they belong to. And it's sad. He said he made this decision with his family. So it looks like he's leaving at the end of the season on a free transfer.
Sure.
Possibly, there's been a lot of speculation about where he's going.
Yeah, that was my next question. Where do we think he's going?
I think it's probably looking like the Saudi Pro League.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah,
it would make sense.
I wouldn't see him playing in another Premier League team, for example. I don't think he'd do something.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go back to Chelsea.
Yeah. No.
Well, here's my question: is he? And I'll stick my neck out when I say this, but is he still Premier League quality?
I think he is. Just think about it. Less than a year ago, he was that's top player. He was the reason why Liverpool got to lift another Premier League trophy in my lifetime. Because before that, I was waiting. And obviously in around COVID time, we won that Premier League trophy. And he was involved there as well. In 2018, 2019, he had one of the best seasons ever. I mean, every single season he has contributed. This season, things went awry. Yeah. And I blame, at this moment in time, Arne Slot and
I was waiting for that.
All of the changes.
I was waiting for that.
Can you believe that Tara is blaming Arne Slot? Because I'll tell you why. She has been a massive advocate for the fact that he is the right man for the job.
Yeah.
She also proceeded to say, if you listened to the radio station on Saturday morning, also proceeded to say that there may be some truth in what Liverpool fans are saying about the manager. So the question is, are you coming on here now and also saying to us that
I've changed my mind
Yes.
since the start
Yeah.
of this. When I first joined you on this podcast
Yes.
at the start of the Premier League season,
What happened to in slot we trust? Huh?
I thought that there was a plan, Morgan and Adrian. I thought that there was something that I wasn't seeing and we just have to wait. You know, we lifted a Premier League trophy. I thought, you know, we were going to be top 4 at this point in time in the season. And I thought that he had something cooking. But now I'm like, what is he doing? The defensive fragility. He's changed a system where Mo Salah looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. A player of that caliber, you ask me if he's Premier League caliber, he 100% is. And the obsession with Cody Gakpo. I mean, if a player is not performing, and people were saying this about Mo Salah at the start of the season, oh, no Salah, no problem, bench him, there's no player that's bigger than the team, then why are we not saying that about Gakpo right now? What is that? You put Ekatike, who is scoring the goals. You put him on the bench and you put Gakpo up front just so that he can fumble it every 5 seconds. He's literally fumbled it in every single game that he has started. Every game. I have watched, I keep a close eye every game. I haven't seen one stroke of brilliance.
But my question is, yes, we can blame. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, I'm just a Man United supporter in the wings there. You know, I'm sitting currently third on the table. So
You're salivating at
you know what I mean. But
there they're losing to Brighton.
but I kind of feel like even Virgil van Dijk is not playing to the level that we know. You know, the defensive fragility is not necessarily a system problem. Isn't it more of an individual problem? Like, if you ask me, I don't think he's changed the system, or has he?
No, he definitely has. And you speak about Virgil van Dijk not being Virgil. It just seems like everybody's kind of a little out of sorts playing with this Liverpool team now. And it's also like a knit one, skip one. In the Champions League, we're looking fantastic. And then we come back to the Premier League and we're looking like we're losing cheap points in the Premier League. And we look at that midfield, that's where we should have spent money. We talk about missing out on Mark Gay.
Tell me something. Coming back to the Liverpool transfer, the Salah transfer of away from Liverpool. I was also reading that in 2023, from the Saudi Pro League, they got in excess of 150 million rand offer for Salah. 2.5 years later, he's now leaving on a free transfer.
Yeah.
Isn't that just bad business?
It would seem that it's bad business, but you know what? I do not blame Mo Salah for leaving at this point. And I think that he's still going to make money. And I would like to see him and his family do that. Because I think that he deserves
Yeah. That's
It's
fair.
not the same with Trent. I was upset when Trent left.
And now look at what Trent is doing in Real Madrid.
Exactly, because he was a world-class player. Look at Lucho. Luis Diaz. He would be brilliant in any league that he plays. We said goodbye to some big names. I know people like to make fun of Darwin Núñez, but even he was an important part. And of course, Diogo Jota still being missed within the Liverpool setup. But there were some top players that we said goodbye to.
Was Jota, and I should be sensitive to this, and I am sensitive to it.
Sensitive.
I am very sensitive. But was he as big a player to the club
Yes.
as he's being made out to be now that he's no longer around?
Yes, I think...
Because they often talk about him being missed. Now, I'm talking from I'm not taking emotion out of it. I'm talking about on the field missed. I'm not talking about a missed because he's no longer with us.
Yes, so
I have sympathy towards that. But my question is he really being missed on the field as much? Because he wasn't used as much as or do I have that wrong?
I will say that he's being missed not just on the field, but also in the changing room.
That I've heard. That I've heard.
I think when it comes to a football club, it's as much about everybody can play football. If you're playing in the Premier League, you can play football. You are the best at what you do. about a club coming together is about the culture. And about how that fits together like puzzle pieces and how well people work together. It's about the conversations that you have off the pitch as much as you have it on the field. And just listening to Jurgen Klopp not so long ago talking about the impact that a player like him had in the dressing room.
Yes,
The
okay.
glue,
I've heard that, yeah.
Holding things together. And even a player like Mo Salah. So saying goodbye to him is a massive blow to the team. I don't know what this team
Is he good?
going to
Is he
look
good
like.
for the team environment?
I think that he is. I think that he's definitely a leader in the team, and I know that this has been quite the divisive season, and we've seen him speak out. But I don't think that he was speaking out against the team. I think he was unhappy with what was happening with management.
Let me read you what a couple of his teammates, their reaction to the announcement. Virgil van Dijk went straight up legend. Kirkes went king.
Kirkes is new, man.
Andy Robertson went the greatest. Konate went the king. Hugo Ekitike went the one.
Wow.
Florian Wirtz replied with, "It was a pleasure till now." And Dominic Szoboszlai went legend. Those are some big names giving kudos to.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to see a lot of that coming through. I think from players from other teams and clubs and even past legends. I think that...
Last question I'm going to ask you before we move on from this Liverpool saga, because there's better teams to talk about in the Premier League.
There really
United are
isn't.
playing fantastic football. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Picked up a
pretty
draw,
good.
but I mean,
Pretty good.
The penalty was debatable.
Yeah, 100%.
And I want you both to answer this one. Is Mohamed Salah the greatest African footballer to ever have lived?
Sure.
That is a big question because
He's definitely the best, like, modern day
Okay,
in
and
the last 10 years,
really?
I would say.
What about
who would be greater than him?
Sadio Mane?
Probably someone like Didier
achieved?
Drogba would be.
Drogba? Sadio Mane's achieved more.
Has he?
Way more. Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues.
And so
Was
Mo Salah.
Sadio
but the same
Mane
amount.
was there.
They were in the same team.
No, I think look.
Actually, Mo Salah has achieved a bit more. So Mo Salah has broken every record of every African player, even the most Champions League goals now. If you're not counting only the ones that he scored with Liverpool, it's 50 Champions League goals. I mean, you can Google the stats there.
I am busy doing it as we
if
speak.
you have
Salah
internet.
last season, 31 goals, 16 assists. Mo Salah, but I mean, that's last season.
That's
23
crazy.
goals,
That
5
was
assists.
last season.
But I want to see.
But think about the total goal contributions. If we think about total goal contributions,
I do think when all is said and done about Mohamed Salah's time at Liverpool, as a Man United fan, I will look back on it and say that he was probably one of the most impactful, important players in the Premier League over those years. I mean, to the way that he's showed up consistently for Liverpool,
Yeah, that
being
would
a
be- that
scoring
would be
threat,
fair.
especially against United for some reason. I don't know why I love scoring against United so much.
Yes, just remember that he was that African player who scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford. The first player to do that wasn't a Man United player.
But
That's
why do
important.
Liverpool people always find a way to bring it back to United?
I'm just saying.
Okay, so I need an answer from you.
Yes.
Of course, as a Liverpool fan, you're going to say that.
No, but
I can't think of any other African footballer. We've had a lot of good African footballers.
Well, the reason I ask you guys this question is because I was listening to another podcast with professional footballers, very high-profile professional footballers, and 3 out of the 4, of which there were 2 African football guys,
Yeah.
in there. 3 out of the 4 reckon Sadio Mane more decorated than Mo Salah.
Oh, is that
So-
where your opinion comes
No, that's
in?
where that's where I know the stats come from, and that's where their opinion. And I mean,
Maybe if Sadio
Professional
Mane stayed in the league for a bit longer, in my opinion, like he left to go play in Saudi quite early on in his career. He could have stayed a bit longer, and then
Yes.
he could have made a case for himself.
But are you talking particularly in the Premier League, or you're talking of all time? Because yes, in that case, Sadio Mane, I mean,
No, I'm talking all time. The greatest footballer of all
He's
time.
an AFCON winner, which is something.
Two-time AFCON winner.
Yes, thank you very much, because we're not, or at least I'm not.
Mo hasn't won it once.
I'm not here
True.
accepting Morocco's win, so I'm with you. Mo Salah hasn't won that. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, then I understand why you say that Sadio Mane is more decorated.
Are you going with that, or where are you going, Adrian?
I think
You're still going Salah.
I think we can look at things like trophies and all that, but at the end of the day, it also comes to just what you're putting out in terms of your output for a team. And I think if you look at it for the time that Mohamed Salah's been in the Premier League for Liverpool, especially, like he's been one of their most consistent players, one of the most dangerous players to have in attack. So I would definitely say I think he would be the number one, in my opinion.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm torn, but I do lean towards, I suppose, what the professional said. If I'm honest, but
About Sadio Mane.
Yeah, but I mean,
But we understand why.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm neither here nor there about it.
I mean, I think decorated is one thing. I mean, we can obviously say, look, at the end of the day, if Sadio Mane has more trophies than Mohamed Salah, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
But in terms of playing, contribution, all that, I still think
And you
Mohamed
also
Salah.
have to look at how many golden boots Salah has won.
Yeah, in a very competitive league. You must remember this.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Probably the toughest league in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Many would argue.
Well, many would argue, unless they saw the Champions League results this past week.
Yes, I know. Good point.
All of the Premier League teams except Arsenal out into the
But
quarterfinals.
nobody talks about Arsenal. If Kahezi was here now, he'd be the only one.
Arsenal did also lose this past Sunday.
So we talk
Their
about
first test. I told you. What did I say?
They're going to win.
What did I
Somebody
say?
You know,
What did I
somebody
say?
came on you went on the show on the weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody came onto the show on the weekend and said, Arsenal are going to win nothing this year.
Yeah. Well, I said that.
I would be very surprised if they win absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But you are right. This was the first test.
This was their first test.
And they were convincingly beaten.
Yes.
I thought Man City dominated them in all facets.
You can say whatever you want about
Except for the first
Kepa.
20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, but I feel like Arsenal do that a lot. They always start games so lively, and then it just seems like as the game progresses, then they get like a very late resurgence as well towards the end of the game. But again, this was their test. They were up against the second best team so far in the Premier League in City, and we're going to see this matchup quite a few more times before the season ends. And City will have a lot to say about them winning the Premier League. Firstly, also getting an FA Cup could be something as well that they might block them from doing. And obviously Champions League, it's up to whoever. I mean, they lost their first leg. Who did they play in the round of 16? I can't remember.
If we're honest,
I don't even care.
If we're honest, the Premier League is the one they want.
The Premier League is.
I wonder if Arsenal fans would rather win the Premier League or Champions League because they've
Premier League. Definitely.
Really?
Premier
They've never
League,
won the Champions League.
They've never won the Champions League. I feel like the Champions League has a
if you ask
different kind of prestige.
If you ask any Premier League team, and especially one that hasn't won it in decades,
Yeah, maybe.
what trophy would you want to win? I think they would put everything on winning that Premier League trophy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Imagine what that would mean to
a
the
team like
Arsenal
Chelsea
supporters.
won the Champions League in the last few years. So clearly anything's
in
possible.
2021.
Yeah, anything's possible in that tournament.
This is a
So.
very good point.
Yeah.
As you can see, of course, the conversation is very much football dominated. And we're going to continue with this football theme. We're going to bring it slightly closer to home. South Africa headed to the World Cup, of course. And they're playing Panama, actually, next week as we speak.
Right
They're
here.
playing
In our
backyard. And I will be there.
100%.
So I'm really looking forward to South Africa, Panama. But South Africa, Panama, there's lots of murmurs about a fair amount of, what's the word? Controversy? No.
Not really controversy, just I think a good insight into the behind the scenes of these type of matches. Because obviously when you're a national team heading to a World Cup, you want to have some practice matches, especially in your own hometown, since you aren't gonna. I mean, all the matches for the World Cup.
But you were saying
in
something
North
about
America.
off camera. You were saying something about
Yes, yeah. So this is the interesting part because in my mind, I just thought FIFA, like as the football body, will organize matches for teams to take part in. But there's actually a lot more sort of things that go on in the background. So Hugo Bruce was
negotiations.
he was in a press conference. I think it was 2 days ago where they asked him about this match against Panama. They asked him why Panama, like why did we decide to play a team like Panama? They aren't very highly rated. Quite a random fiction. He said, look, to be honest with you, we had teams like Brazil and Argentina who were interested in playing us. They were told by their football federations, we want to play you guys in the friendly, happy to do it in South Africa. And Hugo Bruce said, of course, let's do it. And they said, well, if you want to do that, Brazil asked for $5 million. Argentina asked for 5 million euros. That's both in and around, I Googled it, $5 million is 84 million rand.
Yeah.
So that's what their federation was asking for them to bring their team here, to have 2 matches here in South Africa.
I know we're going to talk golf. I don't want to interrupt you, but I know we're going to talk golf in a couple of minutes. But we can just ask Brashan DeChambeau to give a little bit of his winnings.
I know.
And then you could have had both of them here almost.
Literally.
Anyway, we're going to talk some live golf a little later because we can't finish the show without chatting live golf.
But
anyway,
yeah, it's just interesting because I saw, I mean, our dear friend Mike Morton did a video about this, and he was sort of asking the question like, could we have justified actually paying 5 million rand as SAFA to host those matches, given that we could have maybe recouped that money through tickets, through just different advertisements and campaigns that would have come with it.
How much would those tickets have been?
Well, that's the other thing.
Are you willing to pay 1,000 or 700 rand or something around there?
Because if we know the history of,
I mean, not often you'd get who's in the Brazil side. It's not often you're going to get.
That's the thing. That's 100% the thing.
Cup,
but
world
look,
class.
I mean,
besides the World Cup, when would we get?
And we would want to make our football and Bafana accessible to majority of our people. So we can't have tickets that are close to 1,000.
Have you seen the price of rugby tickets?
I have.
No, but that's
people
the problem.
complain about that.
It's a catch-22 because on the one hand,
this is the problem. This is the business behind sport, which I'm not for high ticket prices. Don't get me wrong, but it would be silly of you if there wasn't high demand. Name your price, right? It's like you can make petrol whatever price you want. People need to drive their cars. They need to buy petrol. People want to go to this. There's what can Cape Town Stadium seat? 65,000 people.
Yes.
I think it is, right?
yeah.
Yes.
There are more than 65,000 people that want to go. So finding the middle ground, I know, don't get me wrong, taking football to the people, I get all that. But at the end of the day, it's also a business. And that's where I think sometimes people get it wrong.
But I'm not going to compare soccer to rugby and the model that rugby has been running here and the price of the rugby tickets, because our people, majority of our people complain about those rugby tickets at DHL Stadium, about the price of those tickets. And the same supporters that are going to go and watch that soccer are not necessarily the same supporters that are going to be in boxes and are going to pay thousands of rand that pay to watch the rugby. So I think we do need to take that into account. I think
What's the price of the?
there is a class system here with
Yeah.
regards to tickets.
So
And
What's the price of the new Bafana jersey?
It depends which one you get, but I think the standard, the like replica one is like, isn't it 900 rand?
And usually,
And it's
The accurate one is like 1,800 rand for.
I hear you, but you know what? We're going to have our local retailers selling Bafana gear as we head on into the World Cup, the same way they do with rugby gear.
Yeah.
I can buy a rugby t-shirt for 150 rand.
It's true.
1,600 rand.
For the
Bafana
new
shirt.
Bafana shirt. What's interesting though is that the tickets at the moment for this Panama match at Cape Town Stadium, it's 50 rand for the cheapest ticket.
Yes.
You can buy at the moment you can buy a ticket for 80 rand in tier 1 because it's Panama, because we haven't had to pay that much. What would have happened if we played in Argentina, where you might get Lionel Messi showing up to Cape Town Stadium? Those tickets would have been easily 2,000 rand for the better tickets.
It's crazy.
And it would have priced out the people who generally would go and watch these matches.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
the fans that would always
the fans
be
who always
there.
show up. You get people who don't really care too much about supporting Bafana
Yes.
would then come out. Which I don't know if that's because, to be honest, I think 65,000 Cape Townians would go to DHL Stadium to go watch Messi play.
Or
Yes.
some of the foreigners that are here.
But should that be the point when it's actually the people who go there should be there to support Bafana? You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, they would draw people, but they wouldn't really necessarily draw like Bafana fans.
Yes. If we got somebody like Messi, for example.
Yo, Adrian, you're
Yes.
opening up. That's a massive can of worms to open.
Because
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 I
you
mean,
think
you
about
make a good point. Don't get me wrong.
It's also the point with like when New Zealand come to play here. I know they were talking about like in like putting in a thing where they're like 75% of these tickets have to go to Springbok supporters, because if we don't, we might get a weird like imbalance where there's 50% All Black supporters, 50% Springbok supporters. That's a question which I don't know if that's fair. I don't know, like...
Well, the Premier League teams do that, don't they? Like,
well, yeah, if you have a home match, like there's home sections and there's an away section
block.
But
which
we
you can
haven't
go.
really done that.
No, we don't have something
I know
like
with
that.
the cricket, there was a big debate because whenever we play England,
Yes,
and it's
there's
test cricket in the
there's the Barmy
Army.
Army, yes, of course. And they
It's
make a
very
lot of noise.
interesting.
But I mean, I think that would be the sort of catch-22 is, on the one hand, we can have our teams, because look, if we are letting Bafana play against high caliber teams like Brazil, like Argentina, who are favorites,
It's only good for Bafana.
it's only good for Bafana. It's only good for Safa, who will make the money back, and it's good for our players to get experience against world-class talent. But what's the point of playing at home if all our fans won't be able to make it? You know, if fans won't be able to watch these things.
No, you said we'll fill it out, but not necessarily with staunch Bafana supporters.
Yeah,
Exactly.
with Bafana fans, which is unfair. Think about it. Imagine you are a Bafana supporter. You can afford that 50 Rand ticket to go watch them play Panama, and you go. Now Argentina's coming. You get to see Bafana play against Argentina, but now the tickets are 1,550.
No, guys, I hear. Don't get me wrong. I hear what you're saying.
You must sit at home, watch it on SABC Plus.
That's a massive debate that
Which
we
is
could go
which
on
is not a
and
bad
on
place
about.
to watch it, by the way.
Please watch it on SABC.
Some people are watching us right now on SABC Plus, so that's a great place to watch.
Good point. Okay, we're running out of time here. We could continue all day long talking about this ticket prices and Bafana and the cost of tickets and all the right people attending, blah blah blah. But unfortunately, we have run short of time.
People you must put your comments in, because we should maybe pick this up on Saturday as well, because I feel like this could be a really good conversation to carry on.
So we will pick it up on Saturday on air, of course. Play by play every Saturday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. I've mentioned at length already. If you like what you're hearing, if you want to join in the conversation, if you want to get part of the banter, and if you want to maybe just throw a cat amongst the pigeons, as they call it, then leave a message in the comments block below, and we'll try and cover them on the following week's podcast. So if you leave a message, say Thursday or Friday or the rest of the week, then the following week we'll try and cover it as much as we can and get to all your questions. So engage with us. We want to hear more about what you want to hear on the pod, as well as what you're liking, what you're not liking, and whether or not Mo Salah is good riddance, because I saw that somewhere on the socials as well, or whether you're sad to see him go. Before we wrap things up, guys, I got to touch on
money.
I want to talk about whether Bryson DeChambeau can maybe loan Safa that winnings from this past weekend.
Yeah.
What an event Live Golf was. Every single golfer that I saw on social media across the board all said the biggest, the best event on the golfing calendar. Live Golf in Johannesburg, Steyn City. Quickly, give me in a 30-second wrap up what you thought of it.
Well, firstly, it looked like an absolute party. I was very jealous that very sad that I wasn't able to go. Because it looked like, even if you weren't a golf enthusiast, it looked like you would have fun there. Like you would enjoy it, just the vibe, the atmosphere. But I think what's even more sort of like amazing to see is the amount of golfers, like Morgan said, who have come out and said this was just a really well organized tournament. Like the like fields were amazing, the grass was amazing, like just the entire thing was just organized so well. And I think we have to give a big shout out to firstly just Live Golf for making it happen here. Also the Southern Guards did us very proud as well. I mean, they came very close to actually winning it. Wouldn't that have been something to have them actually win at Steyn City?
I know, down to the wire against against Bryson DeChambeau's
was it Crushers?
Crushers.
I think what Adrian was saying, just to add to that, I think this Live Golf event in South Africa at Steyn City made me very proud to be South African.
Yes, right.
It did. Every video, everything, it was amazing. The level was just incredible. The golf, the way, even South African music being celebrated.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
I mean, Black
Local
Coffee
artists.
having a sold out
Black
concert
Coffee had a
afterwards
sold-out,
as well.
somebody performed.
Calvin Harris was also there.
Calvin
I mean,
Harris.
It didn't matter whether you were into golf or not into golf.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so special about Live Golf is that it's turning golf into everyone's sport, into a team that you can get behind to cheer for. You mentioned the teams. People were there cheering and they were like, this team is as inspirational as Bafana, as the Springboks. And they owned that. They owned that space.
It's so funny that you'd say that, because I think you really hit the nail on the head with, I think you might, through Live Golf, and I wonder if there's any way of tracking it, but I think we've unearthed so many talented golfers in South Africa just based on what Live Golf, the impact that Live Golf potentially has on our country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you take, for example, how rugby can galvanize our country, you know, and every kid you look at around, you go to the townships, you go everywhere in South Africa, there are kids with a rugby ball in his hand or whatever it may be. Through Live Golf, the coverage thereof and what we've seen. I mean, you said TikTok, blew TikTok out the water, for example.
Yeah.
All those things. I think you might start seeing youngsters now with the golf club and the golf ball. Yes, I know it's a fairly expensive sport, but you can find yourself a golf club somewhere and maybe a couple of golf balls and hit a couple of golf balls
definitely.
and unearth talent that way. I think there's something that we
Exactly.
could see a lot more of going forward.
I think that Live Golf has actually revolutionized golf.
I also think so.
It has. Like, I know that we said that about Tiger Woods as a player because he definitely changed golf and made it that you actually have to be really competitive and really fit in order to play golf. And he really changed the level of golf. But I think Live Golf as a tournament has changed the way that people see golf, has made it exciting. It's kind of the way T20 cricket has changed cricket, for example.
And I think the biggest thing is that it's creating more fans for the sport.
It is.
I never in my life would have thought that I'd be watching a golf tournament. Never, ever, ever. But this weekend I was glued. I was glued to my
But the
screen.
money involved. I know you want to talk about the money, Morgan. The money involved. Oh
Guys,
my goodness.
I had to double. I had
The
to. I had
Saudi
to
money.
I had to double take. Like, are those numbers correct? Because he won. How much was it?
So
$8 million.
the team won 4 million.
And
So
then
that means-
individually,
But
Bryson
individually-
won.
And then individually, because they won it.
Just convert it to rands there
And
for us.
no, I checked already. It's
a
something
lot.
like $40 million
Yeah, like
or something.
48.
40 million rand.
Yeah.
And then also, I saw what's his name, Dean Burmeister.
Dean
Yes.
Bumps,
I don't know where he finished in the end.
Yeah.
Won $11 million for 3 days work. Nice. No, okay, don't get me wrong. I know it's not just 3 days work. I know it takes practice and everything. But the point is, 11 million. I clearly got into the wrong sport, folks.
You
We
did.
unfortunately got to wrap things up, but we're running out of time here. Now we could continue this. We're going to continue the conversation actually on the on-air product on Saturday. We've got a guest coming in on Saturday as well. Farhan Bahadin is joining us, former South African cricketer. So we're going to chat to him a little bit about his career, where he's going, and also the cricketing landscape in South Africa. But then, of course, we're going to have to touch on Mo Salah leaving. And we're going to talk about Live Golf and the impact that it's had on South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, I've already mentioned it to you at length, but leave some messages in the comments. Let us know your thoughts and how you're feeling about the show and what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see more of, what kind of guests we should get on. Of course, last week, 2 weeks ago, we had Lucia Daniels. We spoke Formula One. This week, of course, the very beautiful and famous and very, what's the word I want to use? Opinionated Tara Lee joined us and spoke about the leaving of Mohamed Salah. Next week, we'll see who we're going to get on the show. So let us know if you have someone in mind that you want to see, then hit us up in the comments as well. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, and Tara specifically.
Thank you very much, Morgan and Adrian. And please do invite Morgan to play in a Pro-Am tournament.
Yes, guys, I play golf. Invite me. I won't disappoint the pros, I promise. Adrian, as always, my right hand when it comes to everything that's play-by-play, off air, and on air. Thanks, big guy. And
pleasure.
what you looking forward to this weekend? What's your plans?
Well, this weekend, I'm going to just be behind the TV watching a lot. I know there's going to be some rugby. The Stormers are playing. Man United are playing. Just going to increase the gap between Liverpool on the Premier League table. So it should be a goodie.
So much sport for us to enjoy. That's a wrap, folks. We'll catch you again next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye, everybody.